On Law Weekly today, we feature the workshop between the Nigerian Bar Association's section on business law and the Corporate Affairs Commission. There's also a feature on the new Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, SAN, as senior lawyers give their views on what it should focus on, plus our interview segment with Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Moyo Onigbanjo. Hello, welcome to Law Weekly on Channels Television. I am Shola Shoyeli. Let's begin straight away with our report of the collaboration between the section on business law of the NBA and the CAC.
What will the history?
5 months ago, the Nigerian Bar Association section on business law held its annual conference, the ninth in the series. The conference had the theme, Regulators as Catalysts for Economic Growth. The theme was carefully chosen to emphasize the critical role of the regulator in creating an enabling economic and investment environment. The SBL's annual conferences have always served as the primary professional event for corporate and commercial lawyers, emerging market investors, regulators and members of the bench to dialogue on policies and regulations that shape economic growth.
Some lawyers, they don't want to go into the system. They want to work to CAC office. Please go to the system. It's easier and friendly. You can use it anytime.
One of the fallouts from that conference was the need to constantly engage the regulators constructively, and so the SBL, in furtherance of that resolve, gathered the business law community yet again for a one-day sensitization workshop with the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC. The workshop, which held in Lagos, was an opportunity for dialogue on the achievements, the current developments, as well as the challenges facing the Commission.
Immediately you click proceed, the system will bring you to this site. The first option you type in is here, the second option is here. And you can see we have a note here to guide you, to assist you.
Mr. Garba Abubakar, the Special Advisor to the Registrar General of the CAC, explained the decentralization drive embarked upon by the Commission, which enables lawyers to process their registration activities in Lagos without having to go to Abuja. He also explained the new company registration portal, which enables them to do transactions electronically.
In 2014, the Commission introduced a new registration software known as Company Registration Portal. The portal has an electronic interface, which was hitherto been provided by the Nigerian Interbank Settlement Company, PLC. But with the recent directives of the federal government to move to TSA, we had to change the interface to Remitter, that's System Specs, which is the only company recognized to do command collections. So, using the portal, you could pay for your services, you could pay for availability, you could pay for new registration. But I want to clarify certain information. Because the interface for scanning of documents is not yet provided in the portal, you cannot upload documents, but you can do your data entry. You can type all the forms, type your memo and articles, fill in the subscription column, pay for the registration, then you download, get the directors and the subscribers to sign and drop it in our office for exchange of your certificate. If you are able to do that, do the stamping, then you get your certificate the same day. This is what we have been able to achieve with the portal. We have recently deployed post-incorporation activities in the portal. The same way with the pre-registration, you are still required under the law to get the directors to sign. And because of the high incidence of company hijack and falsification of records, we insist that the existing directors must sign the documents. So we can't just accept any document that is sent, any information that is just submitted through data entry without seeing the documents themselves as signed by the directors. So after you have submitted, what the portal has done is to reduce the burden of you having to type, submit, we verify, then call you to now pick duly approved documents.
It was a very interactive session. The lawyers had several questions on some of the challenges they've encountered in assessing the services of the CAC. The CAC says it appreciates the feedback and remains committed to improving the business environment.
Another thing that is in the pipeline is the integration of the electronic stamping model. We are collaborating with the Federal Revenue Service to integrate the electronic stamping of the incorporation documents into the portal, such that customers don't have to go to FIRS to stamp these documents. So this is an integrated package that will improve the business climate and improve our rating in the World Bank Doing Business Index. Because by the time all these reforms are achieved, you can register a company in 1 hour or 2 hours. Even now, we do 24 hours registration. So by the time the electronic stamping is integrated into the portal, then somebody could initiate his registration and accomplish it in less than 1 hour.
For the SBL, this is the first of many such engagements, and ultimately the Nigerian businessman will benefit from this collaboration.
The CAC has come with over 12 of its staff from its Lagos offices and from Abuja, and the SBL has created the function in such a way that all of us are able to question the CAC, but also to give them credit for the things that they do well. So for me, that's a great opportunity.
I think one of the things we're going to look at is the laws, the CAMA itself, our enabling legislation. We need to look at some of these things because some of the provisions there do not really aid business, or they do not enable business. So from the point of legislation, statute, we need to look at those laws again. And then particularly the Minister of Trade and Investment, under whose purview the Commission of the CAC falls, it's very important that he supports the reforms going on and takes it a step further to ensure that even more reforms are thought of that would enable business. And I'm really glad to see that the portal is working. A man should be able to set up a company in the comfort of his own home. That's what obtains anywhere else. So we must work towards this. And the new minister, Dr. Analama, is somebody we know very well. And if at least as far as if it's regarding this type of work, I think he's a perfect fit for this, and we definitely will see improvements in the sector.
Away from that report, here's a quick recap of some other legal stories we're keeping our eyes on.
The Supreme Court last week on Thursday ordered the Code of Conduct Tribunal to stay proceedings in the case of the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki. Senator Saraki is challenging the jurisdiction of the tribunal to try him on a 13-count charge bordering on allegations of false declaration of assets. Justice John Fabii, who led a four-man panel of justice at the Apex Court, granted a stay of proceedings of the trial at the tribunal pending the hearing and determination of the case on its jurisdiction. Another person facing allegations of false assets declaration is the former Minister of the Niger Delta, Mr. Godstay Orubebe. He was also arraigned before the Code of Conduct Tribunal on 4 counts. The former minister has pleaded not guilty. After his arraignment, the prosecution failed to present its witnesses in proof of the charges, forcing the tribunal to adjourn till the 26th of November. Mr. Godstay Orubebe is charged with failing to declare some of his assets on assumption of office as minister on September the 26th, 2007. He is also charged with accepting about 70 million naira bribe for the award of a contract for the construction of a skills acquisition center in Edo State. A federal high court in Abuja has ordered the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami, to appear before it on Monday to explain why an order of the court is being flouted. The court had granted the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, permission to travel abroad on medical grounds. In a motion filed by the former NSA's counsel, Justice Ademola Deni wondered why his order was being flouted. The prosecution has, however, told the court that there are fresh allegations against Colonel Dasuki. And we round off with this report that another federal high court sitting in Abuja has fixed the trial of the former Benue State Governor, Mr. Gabriel Suswam, for the 8th of December. The former governor and his Commissioner of Finance, Omodaji Okolobia, were arraigned before the court on a 9-count charge bordering on criminal breach of trust, conspiracy and money laundering. They pleaded not guilty to the charges and were granted bail in the sum of 100 million naira each, with a surety in like sum.